right, hello everybody. We are on 82, lesson 82. This lesson is on the area of a circle. All right, you'll find it on page 569. And if you take the time to read over the lesson in your book, you're going to get all kinds of fun information about how the area was figured out by the great mathematicians of old. All right, right now I'm just going to present to you the formula. I'd love for you to memorize it in your spare time. You have lots of spare time right now, right? So area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So if you're given the radius, you just square the radius, multiply it by pi, and you're done. If you're given the diameter, you'd want to cut that in half, right? Then you'd square that number, multiply it by pi. Now, the book will tell you to use pi is 3.14. They'll say use a decimal approximation or use 3.14. Sometimes they'll say, and we want to put squiggly lines, right? Because it's not exactly equal, it's an approximation. Sometimes they'll say use 22 over 7. And we'd use that when our radius or diameter are a multiple of 7. Why? Because the 7 would cancel out, right? Or it might say leave pi as pi. Oh boy, you hope for that. Because then, for example, in this question, where my radius is 2 inches, I would just square the 2 inches, so get 4 inches squared pi, right? Or 4 pi inches squared. We always want to say our number in front of the pi and then the units. Make sure that you only square, say inches squared. Don't get your answer and call that square and then inches squared, right? I don't do that. It's over squaring. But in this case, if we were leaving pi as pi, we would just say 4 pi inches squared for the area of this, okay? If we're leaving pi as pi. If they said to use 3.14, all right, so what would I do under those conditions? I would say, well, I need to say 3.14 times 4, and I would get 12.56, and I put my units because it's area of the inches squared, okay? So looking at the first example, you're going to go to your book, and it says that the radius is 10, so use 3.14 for pi. So we would square the 10, that's our radius. So 10 times 10 is 100. Oh, that's really nice. Because with 100 times our pi, we'd simply move the decimal. So I can do that one in my head, can't I? Oh, I like that. So example A, we have 100 pi, or 314 inches squared, okay? For B, all right, this circle has a radius of 7 inches. So for pi here, I'd want to use 22 over 7, which is what the book says to do. So I'm going to do pi r squared. So 22 over 7 is my pi. My radius is 7. Okay, so I can write it 7 over 1 and square it, right? I'm supposed to square that. So what happens? Oh, one of the 7's cancels out. And so 22 times 7 is 154, I believe, inches squared. All right? Now, another way of thinking about that is you'd say, well, if I'm going to do r squared, 7 squared is 49, times pi, and they want me to use 22 over 7. Okay? Now, I know that's over 1, right? So 7 into 49 is 7. 7 times 22 is still 154. So it doesn't matter how you approach that problem as long as you get 154 at the end. All right, and then the next one, example part C, says that the diameter is 12 feet. So if the diameter is 12 feet, the radius is 6 feet, right? So I would square that, 36. It says to leave pi as pi, so I'm not going to multiply it out. And then I put my units squared. So those are the really easy ones. Okay, so stop the video. Do your practice A through D. Actually, you could go ahead and do E. That's fine. A through E. And then I'll go through these in just a minute. So stop the video, do A through E, and then we'll check your work. All right, so for A, you should have 113 feet squared. All right, you're using 3.14 for pi, and you're calculating the square foot of the area of circle C. So we had 36 pi for circle C. So all we're doing is multiplying 3.14 times 36. And when you do that, you'll get, you're supposed to round to the nearest foot. So it's 112 something, and you're going to round up. All right. Then for B, choice B, you should have 50.24 centimeters squared. Okay, that diameter was 8, so you go 4 for your radius, square 4, 16, multiply by 3.14, get your answer. For C, you're supposed to leave pi as pi. Oh, how nice. So 16 pi and centimeters squared. Okay, now for D, we have a diameter of 8, so the radius is 4. We're going to square 4, and then it says to use 22/7. Well, we really don't like using that when this is not a multiple of 7, but it doesn't mean you can't. So what will happen, we'll multiply the 16, nothing cross cancels, so you multiply 16 by 22/7, and I believe you're going to get 352/7. And you can leave it like this, or you can make it 50 2/7, okay? And then lastly for E, it's about 3 meters squared. And the reason it says make a rough estimate of the area of a circle that has a diameter of 2. So the radius would be 1. Okay, 1 squared is 1 times pi, so 3.14. So it's approximately 3 meters squared. All right, so for this lesson, hello, let's erase. It's just taking a while today, I don't know why. So you can find it on RenWeb, but I'll go ahead and put these up. I think it'd probably be a little bit easier if I do that here. Okay. Actually, let me skip 16 through 20. All right, you guys. Have a good day.